So you've decided you want to take your photography a little bit more seriously. And knowing you, you're going to crush it. But where do you even begin when purchasing the right camera for your new craft? My suggestion, upgrading from something like this to maybe something like these. There are many different camera systems in the market: point and shoot, full frame, crop sensor, medium format, and more. But for today, I want to keep it simple and digestible and only talk about the photographic benefits from an APS-C or crop sensor camera over using a smartphone. For this, we have size, quality, and price. But first, what can this do that this can't? For starters, a camera is a dedicated device, while a smartphone can be very distracting to the photography process. A camera allows for full control of your final image. From focusing, lighting, and lenses, and more, you have control of that final result. And quality. While as smartphones are getting better and better with each release, cameras are going to put out a higher quality image worthy of attention. But now back to cameras. Let's talk about why I think an APS-C or crop sensor camera is a great place to start. When it comes to photography, size matters. And whether you're going on a trip, a quick day out sightseeing, or on a photo shoot, we want to keep our bag as light as possible. And these cameras are small and lightweight, but so are the lenses. A tiny package like a Sony ZV-E10 II and a 16-50 lens is so small that it would fit into a sling with extra space for accessories. These cameras run small because of its sensor size. Now you'll see side by side how much smaller this sensor is next to a full frame sensor. And this is also helpful because it also increases your focal length by up to 2.7 times depending on your sensor size, which means it gives you even more reach to those further objects at this small size of a camera body. To clarify a little bit further, something like this FUJIFILM X-T50 and a 16-50 lens is equivalent to a full frame 24-70, which is like a one lens fits all situations type of lens. Some APS-C cameras are so small they're like elevated point and shoots that have fixed lenses that don't come off. Some lenses which zoom in and out, or some that are high-end fixed prime lenses. That doesn't mean small camera and small sensor means bad quality. These are professional cameras, so you are going pro. APS-C cameras can range from 12 to 40 megapixels, which is plenty when starting out in photography. For those especially new to photography, something to note: the more megapixels a camera has, the more resolution the image takes, which is the more detail the image shows. But this is really only important depending on where you plan on putting those images. If you plan on only posting on social media, then don't stress too much on megapixels. But if you plan on printing these images, then maybe you might care a little bit more on that resolution size. These cameras are made for the beginner and have the beginner in mind when made. There are many user-friendly features in the APS-C and crop sensor cameras so that you get the image that you're looking for straight out of camera without having to know everything there is to know about manual photography features. I personally love playing with all the different features these cameras offer, like double exposure, macro mode, sport mode, portrait mode, film simulations, color profiles, and so much more depending on what each camera offers. But let's talk about the main reason why I think crop sensor cameras is the way to go for those just starting out in their photography journey. Pricing. These are professional, compact, user-friendly, and budget-friendly cameras. The last thing you want to do is buy a massive, expensive camera and have it sit in your closet for years because you just couldn't figure out how to use it. These cameras are much cheaper because of its sensor size, the body size, and it has way less high-end bells and whistles that the other more expensive cameras have because beginners just don't need them. But for me, my favorite part about APS-C cameras being so much cheaper is that the lenses are also much cheaper, allowing you to have more of a budget option to buy various focal lengths so you can really practice your new craft. Starting out in any new craft can be overwhelming, but luckily in photography, there is something for everyone, and we have the education to help you within that new journey. And for those waiting and asking, but what about video features? In our next episode, we're going to dive into all things APS-C and crop sensor for beginner video shooters. So till then, I'm Maria, and thanks for watching.